Do I have a motion to open the meeting?
Motion to open the meeting?
Second.
Sure.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Alrighty then. First on the agenda, tennis courts, Douglas Taylor, 101 First Neck Lane.
That was adjourned at the work session, I believe, and I made an oral request you put it over
Did
to...
we do that? Oh, that was adjourned at the work session.
To the regular June meeting.
Right.
Yeah, that should have been noted on the...
Okay. Adjourned to the June meeting.
June 3rd.
Okay, we have a public hearing for Hunnit, 220 Hampton Road, amendment to the existing site plan approval.
The applicant Gilbert G. Flanagan, 21 South Main Street, Southampton. Excuse me, I have an affidavit of posting and an affidavit of mailing, which I'll hand up. This is an application that was discussed previously, and we went over it briefly at your work session. As you may remember, it is a request to amend the site plan approval that we got several years ago to develop this property. You may recall that it consists of two zones, Hampton Road Office District in the front and residential in the back. And the reason for the amendment is that at the time we got the original site plan approval, we didn't have access from this property to Bellows Court. And we've since, as you know, because you approved a lot line modification, we have achieved that, so that now the residentially zoned portion of this property can derive direct access from Bellows Court, and therefore we'll revise the site plan to show that, and also to show that that residential piece will not need access from Hampton Road any longer. In fact, when we reached an agreement with the owners of the little strip that gave us access, we specifically agreed with them that we could not use that as access to the commercial part. It would have to be for the residential part. So that's pretty much what it is.
Okay. Kathy?
Pretty much what Gil said. This is the culmination of a long process with the site plan that this is the best of all worlds. So
Okay.
I would say that, hear from the public if anybody's here to
Mhm.
ask questions.
Great. Do we have anyone in the audience that wishes to speak on this application? Okay. So do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make the motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you. Is it possible to assume that we might get some sort of a decision at the next meeting? Thank you very much.
Next on the agenda was the OIA Associates, and we did adjourn that to the June meeting.
Mr. Chairman, can I make a request? I know that the very last item on your agenda is a matter involving Jerry Rosengarten. He had called me, and I'm waiting for some instructions from him, but there's nothing that I can offer on it this evening, so I think it probably should be adjourned for all purposes. I'm saying I'm not prepared to say anything on it, so I would like to adjourn it because I know that you need more information in order really to consider it.
Okay, now that's on as a site plan approval, it is not on as a public hearing?
Yeah, and
It's actually a lot line
it's a
modification.
lot line
Yeah.
modification.
The last one.
Is the person...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Who is going to speak for that? Are you authorized by Mr. Rosengarten?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm with AEC Engineering.
Okay. Because I've been waiting for instructions from him, but then I'll...
Then we'll wait? Okay, great.
We have the applications.
Okay. Site plan review, we have the Chabad of Southampton.
I didn't get to that with all the other items on the agenda, so we'll put that over for another month.
Okay. And that will be, do I have a motion to adjourn that to the June meeting?
I'll make the motion to adjourn to June 3rd.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Pelosi, Ioto, and Roller, 50 County Road 39. We are awaiting further submission of secret documents and revised site plan.
I had written a letter pursuant to the authorization and instruction of the board last at the work session, and I think that was faxed to counsel for the applicant last Wednesday. Counsel called me this afternoon around 3 o'clock to say that the applicants were still working on preparation of an EAF, We had a brief discussion about the status of this. I asked him to provide a written request with a reason for the request. By that time, actually, it was after 4 that he called. By that time, the village building department was closed. He said he would fax me over a written request, but I did not receive that prior to my leaving to come to this meeting at 5:45. So I would say, based upon the conversation, though, I could represent that the applicants are apparently attempting to work on the submission for an EAF, and based upon that, pass along the request of the applicant's counsel to adjourn the matter for all purposes to the next meeting.
Okay. The next meeting, is it June
June
3rd
3rd.
or June 13th?
June 3rd.
June 3rd.
June 3rd, okay. Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn for all purposes at the request of the owner to the June meeting on the application of Pelosi Ioto and Roller?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Next, Victoria Khan, 51 Hill Street, pending a decision.
In the file is a decision on this matter.
Wait a minute.
Somebody has a hand
Yeah.
up.
Can I speak on the Pelosi matter?
No, yeah, do you want to?
Yes,
Why
I
don't you
do.
reopen it?
Okay.
I'll make the motion.
Make a motion to
reopen
reopen Pelosi Ioto and Roller.
it. Mhm.
So move.
Okay.
Okay.
Ralph Maschio from the laundromat in the village. It seems to be quite often that there are these last-minute cancellations. Is this normal, accepted procedure? It's been going on for quite a while now, and, if it's not, they should have a deadline at least shorter than the afternoon of the meeting so that we can be advised of that. I would appreciate it.
We spoke about that at the last work session, and that's why council had contacted them. So we're aware of that, and we're aware of the
Okay.
inconvenience for you, and we're addressing it.
All right, I appreciate that. The other issue I ask is it standard procedure to go on without an application for this long a period of time and just keep stretching it out? Is that standard procedure?
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, we had an application. I don't think we deemed it complete,
No,
but we did have an application.
right. It wasn't a complete. In other words, if I had handed in an incomplete application like that, I would be given the same courtesy to go on with this. That's the only thing I mentioned. Okay, thank you.
Sir, let me just make a couple comments. First of all, we specifically wrote that letter last week to avoid what's happened this afternoon. The council the applicant has been reminded several times that this is an inconsideration to those people wishing to be involved in this application. It is not at all typical. There's no such thing as a standard procedure issue, but it's certainly not typical to have an application go on for basically 18 months
Yeah.
without a completed application and one that's being revised based upon a complete submission. That has not even been done. But
Right.
given the atypicality of this, in the sense of a lawsuit, of several other aspects of it, it has gone on this long, but the board is very conscious of that. The board wrote a letter to the applicant last May stating that if the application wasn't completed and pursued, that the board was going to dismiss it. So that's where it's been for 12 months.
Yes.
It's now been since March that the board ruled on the CEQA issue, and since that, nothing has been done, and that issue came up last October and drifted on until March. So this is just a very slow-moving application. The board has done everything it is within reasonable power to move the application along, but there has just not been a reasonably arduous pursuit of the application by the owner.
I very much appreciate that explanation. Next time, maybe the board should vote on a 6-month cancellation or a 1 year till it gets it done.
The letter, if
Thank
you read the
you.
letter in the file, the letter says that, for the applicant to pursue this, because the board is reluctant to grant further adjournments.
Right. Thank you.
Okay, can I have a motion then to, at the owner's request, to adjourn for all purposes the Pelosi Iato and Roller to the next June 3rd meeting?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor again?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Number 3, Victoria Khan, 51 Hill Street, and we're pending a decision on that.
Yes, the decision is in the file regarding this matter, approving the application as submitted, and affirmative vote. We discussed the issues involved. The applicant did submit a title certification, determining that there are no legal recorded rights of the property to access it from the adjoining property. Therefore, the off-street parking becomes a moot issue.
Mhm.
And other than that, the site plan, so far as the shed and the dumpster are concerned, were deemed acceptable.
Right.
So an affirmative vote on that motion would be to approve the application.
Okay, do I have a motion on this application?
I'll make the motion.
To approve? Okay,
I'll second it.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Can I have the original?
Is it-
Are you gonna mark up the original?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Elka LLC, 220 and 22 Hampton Road.
In the file is a decision regarding this matter, approving the application as amended, and giving consideration to the conditions that were discussed at the last work session, and a further vote on the motion would be to approve the application.
Okay, before we have a motion, I just want to read one part of this, which is the,
Stormwater runoff.
yeah, that we have 2 site plans that have been prepared and submitted to the board, occasioned by the possibility that the trustees may in the future accept the offer of the applicant for stormwater runoff abatement. Site Plan A contains no provision for off-site drainage. Site Plan B contains the plans and specifications for off-site drainage proposal of the applicant, which plan has been approved by the village engineer. This resolution conditionally approves Plan A and contingently and conditionally approves Plan B. Is the purpose and intent of the planning board to approve Plan A as a site plan for the project as amended, and to approve off-site drainage contained in Plan B, should the village trustees in the future consent to the installation of the drainage? Okay. So do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sure.
The public hearing has been closed, so I would object to any statements.
Bob?
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to find out what the statement is first.
Okay.
It's regarding a letter I sent the board from, I don't know if you received it, about the parking situation. I had sent photographs, I brought it in person. I'm Lisa Blinderman from Second Nature Markets.
Okay.
And was my letter received? Did anybody?
I believe there was a letter received after the close of the public hearing.
Okay.
Diana mentioned it, so.
Oh, I had brought it about 4 days prior to the public hearing, to the closed hearing. I thought maybe you were-
The hearing was closed last month.
Oh, okay, I brought it, I guess, about a week and a half ago.
Oh, okay. At that point, the public hearing had been closed.
Well, there was a
There's a 10-day written comment period.
they've written comments, so.
Well, you want to see when it was logged in?
No, Diana had said that something came in after the time of the date of the
Oh.
closed hearing, so. She did put it in the file, but she didn't make copies of it because it was, like, it was an issue that was labored over by this board, though.
We looked through that, okay.
We're painfully aware of the parking situation. However, it's not within our jurisdiction to rule on it.
What was the nature of, they're looking for, what was the, could you paraphrase the letter from the board?
Again, my objection, it was submitted after the 10-day written comment period. That was very precise. It was a 10-day written comment period. Any inclusion of any sort of testimony after that, after you close the public hearing and to close the comment period is inappropriate. And again, I'm not trying to be obstreperous. I'm just trying to have everyone, make sure that everyone has to play by the rules.
Well, we need to determine, would you remember when the letter was sent?
I brought it in person to
On what day?
I
On what
bought
day?
it, gosh, about, I guess, last Monday you had a meeting, and
Yeah.
I bought it, I believe, the Thursday prior to that
So
meeting.
that would have been outside the time
Mhm.
commentary period.
It's not
But
here.
the board has been very aware of the parking issues. I don't know if your letter had added anything to that.
I had bought photographs of
But
dismissal
that-
at school
and
time. right? Yeah.
That has been done. Believe me, there were very detailed discussions about the parking, but just for your edification, this board doesn't have any jurisdiction over the
No,
village
no, I
parking lot.
understand that.
does have
Yeah, who does?
jurisdiction
Who-
over something?
The
yeah,
village
yeah.
trustees.
And was it necessary for them to approve this whole
No,
application?
no, because the off-site parking on this site is, there's a pre-existing waiver of it, if you will. There's a waiver of this, so it wasn't necessary for this site. It was not enlarged to have any further off-street
Diane
parking,
did
of which
that.
there was none, which applies to
I'm
most
not
of the
sure it's
buildings on the
in
south side of Hampton Road. And the trustees were made aware of the fact that the board was seeking some kind of thoughts, proposals, scheme to try and abate the potential anticipated traffic. And there was no response. Counsel for the applicant wrote 2 letters to the trustees soliciting commentary
The
on
fact
the.
that the building was divided and now is being made whole again doesn't constitute it being made larger.
That doesn't make a difference. There was all
Can't hear.
retail space in there, sir, so
Okay.
this is basically a change in occupancy, not a change of use.
Yeah, it's fine.
Right.
Alrighty, we all have and have read the resolution?
Yes.
Do I have a motion?
Motion
I,
for the resolution.
Motion to approve the resolution?
Approve the
Okay.
resolution about
Do I have a
that.
second?
and I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
And aye.
Thank you for struggling with this application. I know that you've spent a lot of time on it. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
John, do you want to come?
No, I'm sorry, here's
Oh,
the,
that'd be great.
Pam, here's the original, if you wanna,
Oh darn, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
and that's the original?
That's the
Okay,
original.
So you can mark that one up.
Okay.
Okay, Southampton Hospital, 240 Meeting House Lane.
Nobody from?
I know we have new plans, right?
There are no
Nobody here?
No, nobody's here.
Nobody here.
Okay. Can I have a motion at the request of the applicant to,
Wait. I would, you want to move forward with the neg deck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, you want to do the neg deck? Okay.
We can do the neg deck. It's been over a period of time that seeker recommends that once you declare lead agency, you need to adopt a resolution. And so you have a copy of the neg deck.
Do I have a motion to approve the secret negative declaration?
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Alrighty, and all in favor?
Aye.
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 Mr. Chairman, for the edification of the board, the issue of the historic district is resolved by, it is correct to say that the project is adjacent to a National Register Historic District, but that was proposed to enlarge the Southampton Village Historic District, submitted to and approved by the National Register, but it was never adopted by the local board. So therefore, although it's a Title I action as stated in your resolution, according to SECR language, the local board doesn't have any jurisdiction to pass upon it anyway, so it was resolved in that manner, and there's a memo to the file to that effect.
Okay. All right, then can I have a motion to adjourn at the owner's request the Southampton Hospital to the June 3rd meeting?
I'll make that motion.
I'll
So-
second it.
Okay, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, Gerald Rosengarten, 15 Pelham Street and 148 Moses.
Good evening. Aidan Brownlee from AEC Engineering, representing the applicant, Jerry Rosengarten. So I've got a revised plan here that will hopefully help clarify some of the elements in the application, and then I'll be sure to get you additional copies of that after we kind of talk it through.
Has this been submitted to us?
This has not been submitted, but this plan I believe was submitted to you, but everything else is
Do we have that in the file?
going to clarify.
Yeah.
This has been slightly elaborated on in terms of calculations, but the plan itself.
This plan is different from this plan? Okay.
Are there copies of that
No,
large
just,
file?
there's just this one. We attached the application. We have nothing.
Okay.
We have 11 by 17.
We just have this was attached to the application, we just have the one. This guy refuses to do things.
Maybe I can give you an overview and then.
Yeah, and then maybe we can just
Provide it.
adjourn it to the work session, and you can
Yeah.
provide us with some material in advance that we can take a look at.
So we were actually contacted by Mr. Rosengarten after this problem arose. But I think the major issue here is that the design architect, in proposing the addition to the house, was referring to the incorrect zoning regulations. Because the original lot 13.1 exceeds 12,500 square feet, the setback requirements fall within that 12,500 to 20,000 square foot range. And this was actually at the suggestion of the building department, was to propose a lot line modification between 13 and 14, both which are owned by Jerry Rosengarten, to reduce the size of lot 13 to under that 12,500 square foot threshold, so that then all the setbacks for that category of lots could be applied.
What is the actual, you said there is a problem. What was the problem? What started all this?
The problem was that this, if you look here at this plan, the proposed addition was within the required side yard setbacks for a lot between 12,500 and 20,000.
And that was on lot 13.1?
Yeah, all the work is on lot 13.1. Again, because we weren't the designers on the project, I don't know exactly the sequence of events that led to the discovery, but I understand that the building department has issued a stop work order, so nothing's happening at the property right now other than some roofing repairs, I think, to restore the thermal envelope.
And then your map?
I was just looking at the tax maps from Suffolk County, and just looking at the discrepancy on the original map that we were looking at. The tax map numbers on here, that's 15.1 and not 15. So, I mean, I don't know if you need this for reference. You probably have these in your office.
I can get a copy of that. That's no problem.
And then can I ask you a question? Who put lot 13.2 on your aerial map? Is that an existing lot?
I did that. That's an existing lot under Suffolk County tax map numbers, and that's also owned by Mr. Rosengarten.
Well, then,
He's referring to this aerial photograph.
so then I'm confused, because this lot is showing that it's pretty much of a square lot, and the Suffolk County tax map is showing that we actually have a smaller lot existing already.
To the west, I guess. Which direction?
To the
Yeah,
west.
that's to the west.
I guess my drawings do not show this lot 13.2.
Okay.
So perhaps this was prepared considering 13.1 and 2 as one lot, but I'm not clear on that.
Maybe it was
Right, and if that's the case, you may, 13.1 is showing here as 11,280. It's already showing it as less than
Right.
12,500.
I guess.
So I think we got to get,
Yeah, the only other thing would be where this rear yard setback would interplay with the dividing between 1 and 2.
because if that's the case, then you don't need anything from us.
Yeah, no, that's helpful. Thank you. This was again at the direction of John Foster.
Okay, well, I would see
Yeah,
if you
we'll
can
try to
maybe get
resolve
a
some of
title
this.
report on all these
Yeah,
lots.
we
and-
actually ordered a title report, but
And then actually see where we are.
Yet, so,
Because the county's been wrong also, so I don't know who's right and who's wrong, but if you got a title report and you're showing that this lot, 13.1, actually, this other piece, this 2,271 square foot piece is off it,
right,
then we're done, so.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, hopefully that title report comes through this week.
Did would you like to make a request to adjourn this to the work session?
Yes, please.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Has the formal application been submitted?
I have a signed copy of an application which I understand was submitted.
Do we have it in front?
We got it. We have
Okay.
it.
Yeah, something.
So do I have a motion at the request of the owner to adjourn the Gerald Rosengarten to June 3rd?
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Thank you. I can keep this.
You can throw that back on the way.
Have we got one there?
All righty.
Can I close that stack there? I just want to.
Oh, okay. We went right past you, but do I have a motion to reopen the hospital application?
I'll make that motion.
Done with you.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Southampton Hospital, 240 Meeting House Lane.
The planning board adopted the NEGDAC.
Oh, you did?
In your absence.
Okay.
Actually,
We're efficient.
so if we thought we should schedule a public hearing for this, we have to.
Thank you.
You can do so. We're already in here, I guess, so.
I think the question, this negative declaration allows us to proceed at the Zoning Board of Appeals now, and if they grant the variance, you'll be in a position. So I don't know if you want to schedule a public hearing. It would be for June, the June meeting.
June 3rd is the next meeting.
That's fine with
You
us.
think you'll have answers in time?
I would hope so, and if not, obviously, we could have the hearing, but not that it hasn't been part of the public realm, and if the zoning board hasn't acted by that point, we could adjourn the hearing and keep it open.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sure. So, but we want to adjourn the meeting for the purposes of a public hearing at the June 3rd meeting?
Essentially, the adjournment, the scheduling of the public hearing would be part of the adjournment process. So you're just really now scheduling a public hearing for the June 3rd meeting
Okay.
on the application that's submitted. And that's just the next phase of the application process.
Okay. So do I have a motion at the request of the applicant to adjourn,
No, to schedule a
to
public
schedule a public hearing for at the June 3rd meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 And for the record, what we'll do also, we'll just make sure the building department has all the, whatever forms or whatever else they need, if there's anything actually missing, because this was technically an advisory referral from the zoning board. So pretty much we had made a submission, and there was copies for both boards, but just in case they don't have something, we'll provide that.
Okay.
I think there actually is an application.
Yeah, I believe there is, but we'll just check to make sure that all the i's are dotted.
Alrighty.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Next on the agenda is
Excuse me, Steve.
We're done.
Wayne, sorry. Kathy, are there any issues the planning board has with this application? I mean, do you want a letter from the planning board to the Board of Appeals saying that the planning board has no objection to the proposal?
That would be great. In addition to the negative declaration, I think the negative declaration sort of implies that, but to have it directly stated would be
Steve,
better.
did you sign that?
I think that's what it's here for,
Correct,
from what you're saying.
yes.
So I don't think the planning board has any issues with,
No, I think that,
with the extent, with the construction part of it, anyway.
right, and then we did provide the plans with the changed parking. If you remember the last meeting, we had the discussion, I believe we provided all that, and I think maybe your engineer, if you had any
Yep.
questions or
So,
changes on that, I don't.
Want to make a motion for council?
Authorize council to write a letter to the Board of Appeals stating that the planning board has no objection to the proposal.
Great, thank you.
Okay, so we need a resolution?
Yes.
A resolution authorizing council to write a letter to the Board of Appeals saying that the planning board has no objection to the Southampton Hospital application.
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Alrighty,
Good night.
Sorry to hold you up.
no problem.
It's okay.
Okay, discussion on changing the work session date from May 27th, which is Memorial Day, to possibly the day after, Tuesday, May 28th.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a Tuesday.
We didn't already do that?
I don't think so. I think we talked about it at the work session, but I think we have to pass a resolution.
Okay. Can he be here?
Yeah.
You have to ask a lot of people. Is the room available?
Mhm.
Is the room available?
I'm sure it is. It's a work session for us, so.
I think the board,
But the day before would have been.
is the 22nd. So anyone else?
The May 28th. Instead of the Monday, which is Memorial Day.
Monday's
is
Memorial Day.
So we're gonna change it to the 28th,
Yeah.
which is Tuesday. Do we need a resolution for this, Bill?
Yes.
Do I have a motion to make a resolution to change the work session date from May 27th to May 28th, 2013?
I'll make that resolution, motion.
And I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're approved on that. All right. We have some minute approvals to do.
Yes, the, April 29th, I have not received revisions on.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even know if I sent them out.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, so.
I
they're-
didn't see any.
Everything but the April 29th.
Okay. Can I have motions to do minute approvals?
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes of March 4th.
When weren't you here?
Okay, March 4th.
I'll second it. There's
Okay.
one day you weren't here.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 No, day I wasn't here.
And a motion for the minute approvals for March 27th?
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion for approval for the minutes for March 27th.
Okay, second?
I wasn't here.
Second, Warren. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And a final one for the minute approval for April 1st, 2013.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes of April 1st.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Couldn't
Aye.
have been, there was only one meeting when it was only, me. And
Okay.
Steve was leaving.
Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make the motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.